Today I'm going to do a card that's a completely different card to a normal card that I would do, in that I'm going to be doing a very different shaped base card. The shape will look like this. You can see it's got a sort of step pattern in the top right hand corner, and I'm going to completely cut this bit out. So it's going to be, yeah, a very odd shape. I don't think I've ever seen a card that shape before, but I thought I'd give it a go. Try something a little bit new. I've already got my base card ready. This is just a standard C6 size card. And what I've done is I've got this bit of copy paper and I've cut it so that it's about 3 mil smaller all the way around than the front of my base card. And I've just drawn this, this step pattern in that top right hand corner. So first things first, what I need to do is cut this pattern paper out into this, into this pattern. And to do that, I'm using these papers. They're Paris Nights by GCD Studios. I probably had this paper pack about a year, so it's not a new one, but it is really gorgeous. There are some, let me find one here. Don't know if you can see that, but it's got, you know, the sort of fluffy pattern on there, which is really cool. And there's some just really beautiful, rich patterns in this pack. So I've not used it a whole lot actually. I don't know why, it's not one of my go-to packs, but I thought I'd create a card with it tonight. Okay, so this is the pattern paper. It's obviously got the normal vertical or horizontal stripes, however you're looking at it. But I actually want to use the stripes this way, so I need to cut this out like that. So, to make sure it doesn't slip around while I'm doing this, I'm just going to put some temporary adhesive on the back of this and then just set that down with the stripes going the way I want them. Then I'm just going to trim around that pattern. Okay, so I've got that trimmed out, and then I've got my diagonal stripes there. But I also want to make sure the base card is trimmed out in this pattern too. So essentially I have my template now. All I need to do is go ahead and cut around that, and leaving this nice 3 mil gap all around those steps in the pattern. So the first thing I need to do is adhere this down to the card. And if you're not confident about cutting this out just freehand, you can go ahead and draw a pencil line where you know exactly where it's got to be cut. But if you're happy to just cut it, then you go ahead and do that too. So I'm cutting through both the front and the back of this base card. Okay, so that's the main part of the card done now. Next, what I need to do is start to layer up these patterns. This is some of that flocked paper that I showed you earlier. I don't know if you can see it very well on camera, but it's really gorgeous in real life. It's really fuzzy and soft. Okay, so this one can be adhered straight down to the base card. And I want to be sure that I'm lining this up in the right place, so I'm just going to put this one where I want it to be eventually, and then line this one up underneath. Do you know, I really hate it when this happens. I've forgotten to round these corners, so I'm going to have to rip this up, which with the glue I use isn't great because it's really sticky and it usually rips. Whew, lucky that time. So don't forget to round the corners where you're supposed to before you stick it down. Great tip. And I'm also going to reapply the adhesive because it won't be as sticky now. I've already lifted it once. And again, I'm going to round this one too. Should go the right way up. I'm just using the 1/4 inch setting on my Crocodile. I'll just stick that one down as well. Make sure it's all lined up. Okay, now for the sentiment. I'm going to use these Basic Grey white chocolate chip stickers. I'm going to use the capital letters, I think. Hopefully it'll fit on. And I want my sentiment to say, have a great birthday. So let's just pick out all the letters I need. Okay, there's also just a few nubby bits on these letters, so I'm just going to file those off. And the kit I'm using to do that is the Basic Grey Precision File set. I found this to be the best one. You can just use a sanding block. This is great because it's got lots of different size tools that you can really get into any of the awkward places there, if there are any nubs on there. Okay, now these letters are the wrong colour. I need them to be a sort of darker, maybe a grey. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to do it in the Colourbox chalk ink in charcoal. So I'm just going to get a bit of scratch paper, stick them down, and then just dab on this charcoal ink to get them the colour I want them to be. Now this obviously doesn't colour around the edges of the letters, but to be honest, I'm not that bothered. As long as the front bit of the letter sticks out in a nice contrasting colour, I don't think it matters. You don't have to have the whole letter that colour. Now that will just take a couple of minutes to dry, or you can force dry it using your heat gun, but I'm just going to set it aside while I write the rest of the sentiment. Okay, once you're happy with what you've written, you can just go ahead and go over it with the permanent marker. I tend to always write the sentiments in pencil first, just until I'm absolutely happy with it. Because sometimes you can get the spacing wrong as well, and then it's difficult to make it balance properly. Okay, and the chipboard letters are now dry as well, so we can go ahead and stick those all down. I'm going to start off with the middle letter so that I know I can get my spacing correct. Now, these Basic Grey letters do come with the self-adhesive backs, but I don't tend to find they work very well and they fall off my card, so I always use the some glue just to make sure that they stick properly. Okay, last but not least, we just need to stick this down to the card. And what I'm going to do is make sure it's raised off 3D stickers here and then adhered straight down to this bit just here. So I've got my 3D stickers on this side and my glue on this side. And I'm just going to line that up to where I want it on the card and adhere it down. And that's the card I've done for today. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a go yourself, just doing something completely different, trying a new shape. And yeah, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.